Yeah. Can I get a burger? Hold the backstory.
What do you mean backstory? Is that like a new menu item?
You know, man, it's a real struggle living with chronic oversharing disease.
Oh, god damn it. Man, I sure do love it when all my friends start talking negatively about themselves. It really helps me see them in a positive light, and definitely makes me want to spend a lot of my mental energy cheering them up. Doesn't it seem like we all got really into putting ourselves down back in the 2010s, and eventually it became a large part of the dialogue? I suppose it made sense that it got so popular in terms of comedy. Most folks haven't seen that before, so it was new, fresh, and funny. But let's be real, if you're constantly putting yourself down, it gets really uncomfortable really fast. I get it, dude. You're garbage, your life is garbage, and you have no friends. That's exactly why I'm listening to you bitch about your life. I'm not sure if this is a way to fish for compliments, or if it's just something that they do to publicly flog themselves. It's incredibly uncomfortable to be around. And these people have internalized it so hard that they don't realize that it's annoying to the folks around them and causing their friends mental strain. This kind of thinking has a name. It's called self-deprecation. This is when you actively attempt to belittle yourself and your accomplishments to appear humble or reaffirm your low self-esteem. In general, this doesn't make you look good. When you start talking like that, it can be perceived as though it were a ruse. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's easy to brush off as being whiny, but let's be real. This is a common breakdown of communication. If you belittle yourself at every chance you get, you absolutely need to stop immediately. Your words and thoughts can be self-affirming. And by that, I mean when you skew your own self-perception, it's easy to make yourself believe anything. You only have to look at those with massive egos or those in death cults. They've completely strung themselves along with these random ideas and made it their reality. Now, where might this self-deprecation stem from? In general, it manifests when you actively attempt to contradict those around you who compliment you. It's not humble to reject a compliment, even if you disagree with it. Just say thank you and move on. In time, you'll start to see the world differently. But seriously, this stuff takes time and dedication to changing. If you want to start feeling better about yourself, avoid thinking about the negativity in your life. I've always called it thought replacement. The general idea is that whenever you have a negative opinion about yourself or others, attempt to say or think something positive. I've implemented that into my line of thinking, and it's helped me greatly on my outlook on life. So when does it start? I'm pretty sure most of the self-deprecation starts around the time you get into middle school. You get into that insecurity phase in your life, and some end up wallowing in it. It's a thick mud to pull yourself from, but it has to be done. It's all part of growing up and learning that everyone has had issues in their childhood and most likely still have problems into their adulthood. It's not important how bad things were in the past. The Pain Olympics don't help you. Not getting help for yourself because someone else had it worse is an incredibly stupid idea. The worst thing that's happened in your life is exactly that. The worst thing you've had to experience. So it's important to remember that you should be looking out for yourself and not comparing it to others. There are so many different variables in everyone's life that it's impossible to compare. It's not going to help you to ignore your mental health. Negativity is a poison that will eat away at the small joys in your life. Sometimes it's justified to hold those thoughts, but it's definitely not healthy. The mind can have ruts worn into itself when the path is tread so often. You have to think about it as a recursive process, and try your best to avoid these pitfalls at all costs.
You know, man, life is so hard when you have to work 4 hours a day.
What are we supposed to do? I just want my nuggets, man.
Hang on, I got this.
Love me in such a pain. I hate them so much.
Oh,
they can't ever tell me I'm shit like I want to be called constantly. I fucking hate them.
So who's going to see you in a positive light if you can't even see yourself in that way? We are all creatures that can be manipulated in one way or another. If I opened an art gallery presentation by saying, well, it's not all that good, It's setting your expectations low and can even degrade your opinion further by making you internalize that other people don't like it. It's the same thing with how we perceive ourselves and others. You don't introduce a new person to your group of friends by saying, "Yeah, this guy's a real piece of shit." You'll typically try and say something positive to set the right expectations. You should be doing the same thing for yourself. Every time you talk to someone, it's a new opportunity to change their thoughts and opinions on you. So you might as well show a good face. Well, now you might ask, how can we work to avoid degrading ourselves with this line of thinking? In general, it takes time. It's important to be aware of how we're coming off to others. Similar to my video about communication, you have to read the room a bit. Understand what kind of company you're in. If it's something casual, it's best to avoid the negative things that have happened to you in your life. If you can't think of anything positive in your life to talk about, try talking about someone else's life and question them. If they like space, ask them about that. Or maybe ask them about the art they enjoy. It's best to be invested in what they're talking about, and it'll keep your mind off of yourself. Sometimes you'll find a commonality or shared interest, and that'll make it significantly easier to cope with your personal pain. It's a hard road to walk, but anything worth doing will be difficult. You should treat it like a skill and train yourself every day. Eventually, you'll be able to start seeing the light. Self-deprecation is a negative trait that can lead yourself and others to perceive you as lesser. We should be working towards being more positive and perceiving ourselves in that good light. You should attempt to put yourself out there to break free of these thought patterns. It's hard, it's a struggle, but once you're on the other side, you'll feel significantly better. In conclusion, love yourself. Eat a cinder block.